and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller. In tonight's news, we'll hear from new director of Talahoma Schools. There's a new pandemic EBT program, and the Talahoma Wildcats are trying to extend their win streak against Franklin County this Friday night. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Talahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Talahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Hello everyone, Governor Bill Lee. The 2020 census is underway and more than 60% of Tennesseans have already been counted. I want to encourage every household that hasn't yet responded to the census to do so now. An accurate census will bring more of our federal tax dollars back to Tennessee communities to support services that we all like health care, education, roads, and so much more. Log on to 2020census.gov to answer some simple questions about the people living in your home. You can also respond by phone or mail in your questionnaire. It should only take a few minutes and can mean so much for your family and your community. Help shape the future of Tennessee by responding to the 2020 census today.
My great-grandfather started it in 1900. And now it's 2020, which is 120 years. We still measure your feet, still try to help you find a good fit. We're just a good old-fashioned shoe store where we'll measure your feet, make sure you're in the right size, and help you find a comfortable shoe for men, women, and children.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Welcome back. John Gray recently spoke to Dr. Stevens, the new director of Talahoma City Schools. Dr. Stevens spoke with John about Talahoma maintaining its high level of schools during this unique time.
About 81% of our students returned physically to the buildings. We had about 19% of our students opt for distance learning. That is an adventure. It's a whole new world. In the spring, there was dabbling in that type of environment, whereas this year it has been more focused, more planned, more clear how it works in terms of a schedule and expectations and feedback and so forth. So one of the reasons I applied to be director of schools was because of the incredible reputation that Talahoma City Schools has throughout the state of Tennessee, and spending time in Talahoma, seeing and feeling the community support around the school system. It's really impressive, and you probably know this, but it's the only district in which I applied to be director of schools. So I was very selective in where I wanted to consider connecting myself and investing deeply in the community. It is a really impressive place. Things that are impressive about it: it's a very well-rounded system in terms of a focus on academics, a focus on arts, a focus on the whole child, looking at social emotional elements, supports, athletics. It has just a comprehensive opportunity for students to excel in areas where they have that natural affinity and talent and gift. There are places for them.
And our band.
Oh, are you kidding me? I mean, I watched several performances. When I say I researched Talahoma, I watched almost a year's worth of board meeting, every single one that was filmed. I watched the band perform. I watched every social media feed, everything on the website, any link that I could see that someone had put together. So we have competitive teams that are getting nationally recognized. So when you think about how do you continue a school system in this time where things are adjusting, well, our high school students are still taking ACT. They're still looking toward that college entrance and succeeding in that way. So if you're thinking about tests, we need to remember there are elements out there that still give us great feedback during this time. And those are important pieces, because your entire K-12 journey is really preparing you for those outcomes, and our role is to ensure that everyone is college or career ready by the time that they go. Our CTE programming here is first rate. First rate, that is a selling point. It has so many arms of success and arms where students can find who they are and have that skill and talent and take it to the next level and be ready to just step out and move into the workforce right here in Talahoma and give back to their own community. Our fine arts is amazing, just as you noted. It's amazing. It's amazing all the way through. So these are all selling points, and it's our job as educators and as an organization to continue to be cutting edge. Certainly this time of challenge related to the school setting and this virus and how we navigate it is indeed a difficult process, but in this we are gaining new tips and tricks to add to our tool belt that is going to make us better in the end. So I see the outcome of this as being a stronger unit.
Springboard.
Correct.
Springboard.
Correct.
You know, I have to give a prop up here because I'm a veteran, and I don't know how many school systems have this, but we are very good in finding new things to do for people who don't have something to do. Colonel Jeffrey Johnson and the Marine Corps in the high school is one of the, to me, is one of the best things that's happened. New things that, of course, it's not new now, but it gives a whole new group of young people who aren't maybe athletes or band people or art people or something, have found a home there, and that program is absolutely incredible, and I want to give a prop up to Colonel Johnson for that.
And talk about building leaders. Building young people who are really ready to, if they choose to make a commitment in that area, you as a veteran, me as a daughter of a veteran, wife of a veteran, know that that commitment is powerful and strong. But what they're gaining from physical wellness, from mental wellness, and how they give and serve is top notch. When you talk about our career and technology programming, it really is amazing what the students are doing right now in high school. Amazing. And that's why it's critical, these business and school partnerships, to really get those solid and grounded and keep building on those, because we want our students to have a pipeline to the next step, whatever that next step is for them post high school. The welcome that I've received from individuals that I've met has been extremely kind and touching. This community is a community of people who really love and support teaching and learning and the Talahoma City Schools, and it's my honor, to be honest, to be with each of you in this important work. I know we're in challenging times. I recognize that, and I recognize the difficulty that all of us are experiencing. I know that you agree with me that health and safety is important, and teaching and learning is as well, and together we're going to work on all of those things. Here's to a better tomorrow.
We'll be right back after these messages.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Talahoma is ready to help you live well.
This is the face of a fighter.
I'm fighting to keep Tennesseans working.
I'm fighting for time with my friends.
I'm fighting for football on Saturday.
I'm fighting to see my students back in the classroom.
We're fighting for our small business.
I'm fighting to keep my family safe.
Whatever you're fighting for, it's time for all Tennesseans to fight back. Until there's a vaccine for COVID-19, this is the face of a fighter. Face it, masks fight COVID-19.
Welcome back. At Governor Lee's press briefing last week, Danielle Barnes, Commissioner of Human Services, spoke about the pandemic EBT program. In this video, she gives updates on how the program is working.
As many of you all know, we've been talking about PEBT, pandemic EBT, for some time, and this program is a program that aids families of children who receive free or reduced lunch, or they attend a community-eligible school through the National School Lunch Program. And this program gives them the benefits for each day that school was not open due to the COVID-19 pandemic. One of the things we know for sure is that families really depend on these meals to support them during this time. And we've worked very, very diligently to make sure that we can distribute these benefits to these families. Now, when we talk about PEBT, I want us to think about it in terms of 2 rounds, and that's what I want to share with you all today. The first round is what I've been here before you all before to talk about, and that is the one for the previous school year, 2019 through 2020. Round 2 is for the school year that just started, so 2020 to 2021. Round 1 was originally done through an application process. We also distributed those benefits directly to students and families who were known to us who are current SNAP or TANF recipients. This application process allowed us to make sure that we could distribute those dollars directly to the students and their families to make sure that we had the proper addresses, to make sure we didn't have any instances of fraud or abuse of these dollars. Now, we were one of the few states that did do the application process, and we think that we made tremendous progress. I will tell you that through that application process, we were able to serve over 550,000 students, or 500,000 students, and we believe that we made pretty good reach. That's well over half of the students across the state of Tennessee. Unfortunately, there are approximately about 200,000 students that we did not reach, and we don't know if that's because they did not want the benefit or need the benefit, but we decided to devise a plan to get those benefits closer to the student's actual home. And this is a process that I want to be very careful that when we talk about this, we talk about it in terms of this is our plan. We have submitted it to the department, the USDA, and it is pending approval with them right now. So we're still sort of in the beginning phases of this. We do anticipate that we'll get an answer from them soon, but Tennessee is really thinking outside of the box as we try to distribute these benefits closer to those families. With our plan, our hope is that we will get a student who wants a benefit, can send them to the school where they were last enrolled, and the family can then go to that school, pick up the card if they need them. If the student doesn't want the benefit or doesn't need the benefit, the school can then send them back to us and we will destroy them to avoid any of that impropriety of those benefits. I think it's also important to note that for round 2, it's a lot more tricky. So round 2 is August and September. Schools aren't closing for months on end. They are closing for days. They are virtual, they are hybrid, they are delayed, and the federal requirements around this particular round are much more confusing and much more stringent. And again, it's an opportunity. Our plan presented to the USDA, we think, can help us maneuver through some of this. Due to the tight timeline, and again, all of these dollars have to be spent by September 30th, we are going to be wanting to work with our local school districts to identify and confirm students who qualify and have them help us distribute those EBT cards. To qualify, I think it's important to note for August and September, a student must attend a virtual school or attend a school that was closed for 5 days or more. And then here's the tricky part. It has to be, and they have to be unable to pick up the meals from their school. Local districts, we hope, will be able to help us identify and verify the students that meet the above qualifications before distributing those cards. And again, families can opt out of this program if they choose, if they don't necessarily need the benefit, and we will destroy those cards as well. I think it's also important to note, and I think you all have all reported on a couple of school districts taking advantage of the department's newest waiver, which came in from FNS this morning, the Food Nutrition Services, a division of the USDA, which allows schools to continue to operate SFSP, Summer Food Service Program. I think that's really tricky to say, but that allows them to continue to provide meals free of charge to students through December 31st. And so that is another opportunity that is available to students to help them during this time. So we are looking forward to feeding our kids. We're looking forward to supporting our families, and thank you, Governor, for allowing the update.
More news is coming up in a moment.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Talahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop-top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. And I grow and getting bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash jumping up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Welcome back. Talahoma Wildcats head football coach John Olive spoke with John Gray about their fourth game of the season against Franklin County. He also covered how to go about getting tickets for the game as the Wildcats look to extend their record to 4-0.
Franklin County's got a new coach, Coach Cunningham. They have played 3 games. They've been in all 3 games, and they'll be looking for their first victory, as they've been beaten by a couple of points each ball game. Coffee beat them 21-20 or 21-20, I believe, 21-19.
Had to turn the lights out on them to get that done.
You know, it's there. They're close, and they'll be looking for their first win. And for us, we've got to be ready to play, and can't think about this one's been enjoyable, but after today, it's got to be gone. And it's kind of like that's what I love about athletics. You can't dwell on what's happened, win or lose. You can't dwell on it. No. You got to get over it, and you go and you start getting prepared for the next one.
We're playing over there.
And as far as I know, you'll be buying your tickets there. At the gate, that's what Coach Roden told me earlier, that if you came to the game, that they felt like they had a large enough stadium that you could socially distance, that they would be selling tickets at the gate. So this week, tickets will be available at the gate, and as far as I know, no limit is on those tickets unless they have put limits in.
So our fans aren't buying tickets in advance from the school.
No.
They're going to get them at the gate. Okay.
Get them at the gate.
Very good, very good.
We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
It's time for every family and business in Talahoma to go green and recycle. Talahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Talahoma, and recycle.
Many Tennesseans are wondering, do masks really fight the spread of COVID-19? A recent study shows they do. 2 hairstylists worked for several days with respiratory symptoms and serviced patrons in close contact. Both stylists later tested positive for COVID-19. 139 clients were exposed to coronavirus after being in direct contact. Both stylists and their customers opted to wear masks. No COVID-19 symptoms were identified among the 139 exposed clients or their secondary contacts. Out of the clients that were tested, all tested negative for COVID-19. Face it, masks fight COVID-19.
Welcome back. In this edition of Talahoma Area Chamber of Commerce's What Do You Say Wednesday, the Chamber's Faith Few speaks with Chad Hatfield of First Bank about the upcoming Fall Chamber Classic Golf Tournament.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of What Do You Say Wednesday. I'm your host, Marketing and Communications Coordinator, Faith Few. So, as many of you know, our Fall Chamber Classic Golf Tournament is right around the corner. With that being said, I'd like to introduce our guest today, Chad Hatfield, representing our title sponsor for the tournament, First Bank.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited that you were able to be here today. So, why is golf so popular right now?
Right now, golf is, I think, making a comeback. There's lots of facets to it. You've got a lot more ladies playing. You've got infinite amount of kids with junior programs that are skyrocketing in attendance, and so it becomes more of a family event. And with the way that we are in the world today, with our pandemic that we have going on, it's an outside activity. It's deemed as socially acceptable with the social distancing and those kind of things, that people are just taking up the game again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so funny. I think the last time I golfed, I threw my back out to the point where I could barely walk back to the golf cart. And
it's very easy to do, especially when you hurl the club further than you hit the ball.
Sometimes I do that, and it's, that's just how it goes. But it's fun, and I love it. But I'd really like to just drive the cart around and see you guys do your thing.
Well, it's
great.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun. So, as we all know, networking is a huge part of golf events. How are our golfers going to stay safe and network safely out there?
Well, as most everyone knows that participated in our event that was in June, there are some different logistics to whether it's registration, having separate entrances and exits, and all the way down to the lunch. Instead of having a buffet or a sit down, it's going to be a box lunch with a variety of sandwiches and drinks for our golfers to use.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so definitely we'll have a lot of safety precautions for the golf tournament, and a lot of those we put into place at the last golf tournament, and they turned out really well. So, Chad, we're so excited to have First Bank as our title sponsor. Of course, we have so many awesome sponsors that also. I'd like to recognize. We have For the Win Cigar, we have L&H Distributing, Tenova Healthcare Harton, Barrett Construction, CFC, and Dave Culbertson Funeral Home. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do. Obviously these events wouldn't be possible without y'all, so we are so thankful for that.
That's a good group of sponsors that are always willing to step up and help out.
Absolutely, and we still have several sponsorship opportunities available. If there's anybody out there who wants to put their business out in front of all these wonderful business and community-driven individuals. So definitely a great opportunity. If you have interest in that, just give us a call here at the Chamber. But as a reminder, our golf tournament will be September 25th. We are going to have our boxed lunches starting at 12 o'clock. So registration will start a little bit before that. And then we're going to have our shotgun start at 1. And this tournament will take place at Lakewood Golf and Country Club. So thank you for having us again. And make sure that you get those registrations in quick, because we only have 15 spots left. And we're capping that at 25 teams. So, and also, that stays with our social distancing guidelines and all those wonderful CDC recommendations. So if you're interested in registering your team, make sure that you go to talahoma.org, and the golf tournament will be underneath signature events. If you're signed up for our newsletters, which I highly recommend that you guys do, we have a link that takes you directly to registration in those weekly newsletters. And then also we have an event Facebook page for it as well. So if you go under the Fall Chamber Classic Facebook event, we have it pinned at the top of our page. You can register right from that Facebook page. So as always, you guys, Chad, thank you for being here today.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me, and let's get these last 15 spots filled up. Let's make a goal to have it done by next Friday.
Absolutely.
Give a week to get everything prepared.
Yes, absolutely. And we're so excited to see you guys out here.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game.
The rehab team at Life Care Center of Talahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Talahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martinsenor Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martinsenor interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Talahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1931 at 96 degrees. The record low was in 1902 at 40 degrees. Average high on this day is 83 and the average low is 61. Clear weather in the forecast for tonight with a low of 67. Mostly sunny weather expected on Friday with a high of 89 and a low of 69, and scattered storms in the forecast for Saturday with a high of 85 and a low of 70. And that's our news leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.